Chapter 3, Mr. Pudgins and the Whizzle. What can you do on a rainy afternoon? It had been raining for days, and we had used up all of our ideas. We were tired of rain. Gosh, it would coming during spring vacation, too. Mother and Dad were off buying spring clothes. They just always had to get new outfits for themselves and everybody else when spring vacation rolled around. It's a wonder they didn't buy a suit for the Easter Bunny. Peter was standing with his nose pressed against the window waiting for the rain to stop, but it didn't. Janie was dressing her coo doll for the umpteenth time, and I was fiddling with the propeller on a new model plane. Mr. Pudgins was playing a game of solitaire. He looked mighty bored. We all were. "Let's have a tea party! Can't we, Mr. Pudgins?" Janie stood in front of him with a smile on her face. The two missing teeth made her grin look like a pumpkin's. "Capital idea, my dear, capital. Give me a hand to get out of this deep chair." Mr. Pudgins was so roly-poly that Janie had to tug to get him out. "What will it be, children?" "I want some Whizzle," said Pete. "Whizzle?" said Mr. Pudgins. "Oh, yes, some Whizzle," said Janie. "What in the world is Whizzle, Johnny?" Mr. Pudgins turned toward me. He took his pipe out of his pocket, and I felt goose pimples all over. "Well, Johnny?" asked Mr. Pudgins. "Gosh, don't ask me. It must be something they made up." "Does anybody know what goes into it?" asked Mr. Pudgins, striking a match to light his pipe. "Ginger ale, 'cause that makes it whiz," said Pete. "You mean fizz, Pete," I said. "There's no such drink." "It seems to me my grandfather told me of a very interesting drink called Whizzle. Just the thing for an afternoon like this," said Mr. Pudgins. "You youngsters go and wash your hands, and I'll get to work in the kitchen." When he brought in the pitcher, it was filled to the top with a dark red mixture that bubbled like a fountain. We each took a sip of the Whizzle. "That's good," said Pete. Whizzle," said Janie. Not bad," I said. It really did taste good. There was cherry juice, orange juice, ginger ale, and then a flavor I couldn't figure out, all mixed up together. To my younger audience, when I was a kid, we used to call this swamp water, where we would go to the pop machine and get a little bit of every flavor. And every now and then, my husband does this, and I personally think it's disgusting. But that's just me, so continuing. Each of us drank a tall glassful, then we drank another. Even Mr. Pudgins was enjoying his concoction. Just as we emptied our glasses, Peter had a terrific burp. It almost knocked him off of his chair. Wow! And when he said that, wow, out of his mouth flew a bird. Not a very big bird, to be sure, but a bird just the same. It was reddish in color and quick in its movements. "For goodness sakes," said Janie. Then she burped. It was catching, I guess. Oops, a bird flew out of her mouth, but orange in color. "Mine's prettier," said Janie with pride as the bird flew up and sat on Mother's new lamp. I felt a burp coming, a big burp. I tried to hold it in, and then there was a green bird sitting on my finger. He looked surprised, and so was I. All three of us looked at Mr. Pudgins then. He was laughing, and then it came, the biggest burp of all. And a big red, green, and blue bird flew out. The four birds started to fly round and round, singing as they went. But we were in trouble. That first burp started us hiccuping, and once we had started, we couldn't seem to stop. With each hiccup, another bird flew out. There were birds here, birds there, big birds and little birds everywhere. "Hold your nose!" "Hup! Hup! Hic!" said Mr. Pudgins, and hiccuped two more birds. "Stand on your right foot." Petey got mixed up and stood on his left. "Shut your eyes." "Hup! Hiccup!" Three birds flew out. "Now jump on your right foot and hold your breath." All four of us jumped. Janie turned white. Petey turned purple, but Mr. Pudgins turned red. "Whew!" I gasped, and so did the others when we gulped air again. Yes, the hiccups had stopped. "Hic!" We all turned and looked. Petey was very unhappy. He hadn't stopped hiccuping. Another bird flew into the room. And those birds here, birds there, big and little birds everywhere were getting in our hair, Mother's draperies, the cookie jar, the bathtub. It was terrible. Mr. Pudgins grabbed Petey by the feet and swung him upside down. But with each swing, he hiccuped some more. Janie ran and got a fierce skeleton mask we'd had for Halloween and pounced on Petey, trying to scare the hiccups away. But Pete just kept on hiccuping. "We've got to stop him," I moaned. "Now let me see," said Mr. Pudgins. "He doesn't scare, and he doesn't bounce." "Let's put him outside," said Janie. "I'm getting tired of birds." "But it's raining," wailed Petey, and he started to kick and yell. That did it. Suddenly we realized he had stopped hiccuping. "That solved that," said Mr. Pudgins. "But what are we to do with these birds? What a problem." "Let's keep them," said Petey. He always had an easy solution. "I want to catch them," said Janie. "Say," I said, "Mother will be mad if she finds all these birds flying around. Come on, we better get them outdoors." "Johnny is right," said Mr. Pudgins. "Now let me see. Johnny, you get the vacuum sweeper and put on the attachment that sucks up air. That shouldn't hurt the littler ones. Janie, you get the old bird cage in the basement and catch them in that. And Petey and I will take the big pans with covers and catch them in those. All set? Let's go." It was lucky no one walked in on us during the next half hour, for there I was pulling the vacuum sweeper after me and sticking the hose in the draperies, on the lamps, over the doors, under the ventilators, and sucking in dozens and dozens of birds. Janie was hopping up and down on the chairs, the sink, the shelves, the shower, and catching dozens and dozens of birds in her cage. And Mr. Pudgins and Petey were making an awful racket, slamming the covers on their pans after they'd caught another bird. We raced here and there and everywhere. At last, the big birds, little birds, red birds, green birds were all caught and thrown outside. We all sat down in chairs and panted. Then we looked at the room. It was a mess. Lampshade knocked sideways, draperies pulled every which way, dirt on chairs, windows smeared, the carpet littered. Said Mr. Pudgins. "I know what we'll do next." "So do I," said Janie weakly. And so did we all. We had to clean up the house. Peter straightened out all the things that had been knocked awry. Janie dusted, Mr. Pudgins washed windows, and I vacuumed. Boy, we were tired when that was done. We were just putting away the last rag in the vacuum sweeper when we heard Mother's key in the lock. "Gosh," I muttered, "we just made it." "What a lovely surprise," said Mother as she walked in the door. "What a lovely clean house." She turned to Mr. Pudgins. "How in the world do you do it?" she asked Mr. Pudgins. Mr. Pudgins just smiled, rather weakly, I think. "Hey," said Dad, coming through the door with a load of packages. "Where did that pretty green canary come from?" We all gasped. Sure enough, there was one of the birds. We must have missed him. "Get the cage and catch him, Petey," said Mother. "Oh, no, Mommy," wailed Petey. "I'm tired of catching them. You catch it, please, Mommy." So she did. "What shall we call our new bird?" asked Mother, as she hung the cage in a sunny window. "I know," said Janie. "Whizzle." And we did. But never again on a rainy afternoon did we ask for a party with Whizzle. Once was enough. Never thought I'd hear about birds coming out of people's mouths. Please join me for the next chapter.